It is mentioned once upon a time that there was a wise king whose name was Shah Zaid. He was famous far and wide for his wisdom and intelligence. But one day, a young man came to his court and said to the king, "King Salamat, I have heard that you are the wisest person in the world. But can you tell me what is the most difficult thing for a person to do? What causes it?" King Zaid smiled and said, "That is a big question. But the answer is not so simple." The king ordered the courtiers to place a large box at every important point in the city and to ask each person to write down his biggest problem on a piece of paper and put it in the box. The young man was surprised, but kept silent. Stayed. A few days passed, and the king summoned all the boxes to the court. The king ordered that each box be opened and the papers of all the troubles in them be read. When the papers were read, each person's trouble was different. Some were afraid of poverty, some were afraid of disease, some were worried about failure in love, some were afraid of death. The king said to the young man, "Look, everyone's problem is different, but they all have one thing in common." The young man asked in surprise, "What is it, King Salamat?" Worry is the fear that dwells in his mind, because everyone is afraid of the unknown of his future, whether it is poverty, disease, or death. But in reality, most of these things never happen, and most of his life is spent in fears that are not in reality. The young man appreciated the king's wisdom and said, "You have really opened my eyes. The imaginary fears of our mind are there, and we must live free from them." Conclusion: the greatest anxiety of man is the thoughts and fears which do not exist in reality, and we spend precious time of our life in these imaginary anxieties. I should not waste.